careful, take the wheels off, jack it up. The jacks look a bit close at the stands at the front, but at the back they're a bit further apart. And this is the set of pipes that I've used. The only thing I got on top of that were the flexible components. This is just the hard copper alloy brake pipes. It all started because, as you may know from previous videos, I was struggling to get decent brakes back on. So I bled them and they were getting to a reasonable state. There was a description I read that perhaps the apportioning valve at the back, which is up here, up there, could have some air in it, and so the advice was, because there's not a bleed nipple, to crack that nut either end to see if you could get any air out from it. Now, when I did that, because the lines were so corroded, it split one of the lines. Now, James had told me that I needed to get some more, just see it up there, I needed to get some more lines because they were going to corrode through. So you can see it there. The only ones I haven't done yet are the lines to the rear axle. Just need to do those later today. The biggest pain is the one that goes from here along the chassis rail and then nips up inside the engine bay. You can access the other end of the pipe from here. So you can see it coming through here from underneath there. This is a clip I replaced. The other ones I was able to reuse. So you can see it running along here, and it's then bent and attaches on to there, and then there's a front one that goes from here. Now, although it looks fiddly, it is actually relatively straightforward to get the spanner on here. The thing I found was actually getting the thread to actually, in that plane and that plane, to actually go into the hole so that you screwed it in and it didn't cross thread. So I'd recommend that the tie points on the chassis, you don't do those up until you've got the pipe in, and then obviously it's quite rigidly fixed here. The other side of that comes through up there, goes this way down to the front axle, and you can see the flexible pipe coming down to it, and then new brake pipes going right and left with another new flexible and new copper pipe, and then a bridge that goes between the two, top and bottom of the cylinder. There's another view of the pipe coming through into the T-piece. So I just followed the diagram, took off the old bit one at a time, placing it as you went. So the few things that I'd say about it is this nut here. Be careful with when you take them off, because if you intend on reusing them, these nuts, you can see this one's a bit rounded off because this one and this one were absolutely hideous to take off. I had to use heat and spray oil cooling, etc. This bracket, beware, is not particularly thick metal, and it will bend if you are levering on it too much. So you can see how these attach on. I haven't filled it with brake fluid and pressure tested it yet. That's why all the wheels are still off, to do the posterior or rear brake lines, and then fill it up and check it before putting the wheels back on. But yeah, you can get these nuts as extra. I didn't kind of realise. I thought they would come with these, and they didn't. So I would highly recommend that you get those, because you really don't want to have any trouble putting them back on securely. I think that's about the short and tall of it, is that you can use the side axis to get to the top of the split valve. It's actually quite easy to push the lines through, except for here, when the other one comes off and goes that way, you have to straighten the end out to get it out, because it goes behind one of the push rods. I think it's for the high and low ratio, but you've got to get it behind there, and it's just not enough space unless you straighten out the wire, the pipe. So when you get it through, you bend it, sort of, you make it all loose. I just did a big loop at the front here. So this was just a loop here, so that I could have enough space to bring that down here, to have enough space to bend it into a reasonable shape.